If you can recall, under the Theravada tradition, the teaching, the domain of practice, the second, clear comprehension. As stated by the Buddha, the domain of practice, if you understand, it covers all aspects of life. Meditation can be developed anywhere, any place, any time, under all posture. So if you understand that, then what is stated here is very true. And the deep meaning comes from the last sentence. He said, if we take every encounter as a chance to engage in spiritual cultivation, the word is spiritual cultivation. That's why you have to be heedful, mindful, ever mindful and constantly meditative. Then you have to tame your mind. If you do that, then you can change your habitual tendency and nurture your wisdom life. So this is very beautiful. Yeah. So there are three parts involved. You have a chance to engage in spiritual cultivation, which you know what to do. If you are heedful, then no problem. Means you have to train the mind to be mindful, stabilize it to be ever mindful. Then use it to cultivate Noble Eightfold Path or the meditation as taught by the Buddha. Then you will be engaging in spiritual cultivation. Then tame our mind. Then you can change your habitual tendency and nurture your wisdom life. So the key word is engage in spiritual practices. So I write them down. Yeah? So Dhamma is life itself. Means it must be related to life. Okay? That's why you have to engage in society. So when you engage in society, what happens is every encounter in life can be a spiritual practice. Every encounter in life can bring about spiritual practice. So this is very important. Then how do you engage yourself in spiritual practice? You have to tame. So tame your mind. How do you do it? So to tame your mind, you have to develop certain understanding. We have gone through. According to the Buddha, why are you not peaceful? Why are you not in the meditative state of inner peace and inner awareness? Why do you think a lot? Why are you heedless? It is due to what? Due to what? Lack of the 5 spiritual practice, due to the mental hindrance. So what must you do to tame your mind? So you have to cultivate the 5 spiritual faculties. 5 spiritual faculties. So that you can overcome the opposite 5 mental hindrance. This is how you tame your mind. Otherwise, you have to use a skillful means in a form of meditation. to anchor the mind, stabilize the mind, to develop sati. So when you can anchor the mind does not wander off heedlessly. It does not develop the habitual thinking due to mental hindrance. So when you are able to anchor the mind like anapanasati, you can train yourself to be mindful of the in and out breath. Then that object of meditation is the one that anchors the mind to it. Then if you can be mindful of it, there is no thought. When there is no thought, you are peaceful. You will experience the spiritual joy, piti, leading to more refined state of sukhang, if you know how to relax into it. Then finally, you will realize pasati. You have to train until your mind enters sati. Then you will realize your true mind. And it is very simple. But because people don't understand, they thought the noting of the in and out breath is the meditation, so they keep on doing without understanding. That's why without understanding you cannot develop it. So to train your mind, to tame your mind, you need to develop understanding, cultivate spiritual faculty to overcome mental hindrance. If before you develop the spiritual faculty, you want to meditate, then you can use this whatever object of meditation. So if you still haven't had the spiritual faculty developed and yet you want to train the mind, then you need to develop skillful means. Mind sweeping method combined with metta, like what I have taught you. Then after that, you have to stabilize the calmness, the inner peace, the mindfulness. Then, of course, you can use a object of meditation to stabilize it. The recommended one by the Buddha is anapanasati. Otherwise, you can use whatever skillful means or object of meditation that you are familiar with. The key understanding is these are only skillful means to train the mind, to anchor the mind so that it does not run, it does not become heedless, so that it can be with the moment, in sati, to be aware. And that is your meditative mind, that is your silent mind, and you have to develop the stability of it so that you can use it to meditate. So the other way to train or to tame the mind is to understand that you have to transform this heedless thinking mind that has the mental hindrance born of delusion, self-delusion and ignorance, to develop a type of tranquility and stillness within, so that it can go beyond thought conception. So tame or train your mind. So this one is referring to the Monday mind, to go beyond thought conception. You know what is thought conception, is it? What is thought conception? Create thought, create sankhara. Understand? So you have to train your mind to go beyond. Means not to be a putujana anymore. Do you understand? You know what is a putujana? An unenlightened being. The unenlightened being without wisdom, avijja pacca sankhara, think a lot. Do you understand? Because of avijja, sankhara is active. That's why it think a lot. So to train, you need to constantly listen to the Dhamma, straighten your view, which is first turning wisdom, suttamaya panya. Then after that, reflect, contemplate and inquire to develop the second turning, Chintamaya Panya. So when you have these two developed, it becomes Yoniso Manasikara. You will have the straightening of view. You will have more and more right view. More right view, less ignorant, less sankhara. Understand? The first two links of Paticca Samuppada is weakened. That's how all this thought conception, which is thinking, this one will be attenuated. So when you can reduce this or attenuate this thought conception, you will become beautiful. So this part is most important. So you have to bear this in mind. The training of your mind to go beyond thought conception. That's why you must know how to stabilize this mind. So to do it, we are constantly listening to the Dhamma. So when you constantly listen to the Dhamma, you will develop first turning wisdom. Okay? Then reflect, contemplate, and inquire. Then this will develop second turning wisdom. So you combine these two. It will become Yoniso Manasikara. So this is the initial wisdom. That's why I constantly listen to the Dhamma, reflection, contemplation and inquiry is very important. If you do this, thought conception will slow down. And finally it will cease. Because you have no more wrong view. After you have straightened your view, your mind at the moment of sense experience will not stir, will not react. There is no more sensual desire and ill will, or like and dislike, or pleasant and unpleasant sense experience. You become more peaceful, more quiet, more equanimous. And if you do this well, it will lead to daily mindfulness. So this one can lead to sati sampajana, daily mindfulness and clear comprehension. That's how later on, if this stabilizes, it will give rise to what? Sense restraint. Very good. These are the steps of the Avijja Sutta. Sense restraint. Then after that, it will lead to what? The three ways of right conduct. So these are all very natural stages of progress. When you have all this understood, your cultivation becomes very clear, very straightforward. And you no need to go and do all those funny things that people ask you to do. Do you understand? Because this is very direct. And the moment you are able to go beyond This word beyond is very important. Once you can go beyond thought conception, what happened to you? There is no more thinking, no more thought, isn't it? So you straight away realize your true mind. You reach the stage of no thought. That's how you progress. That is what Hui Ning's first hallmark teaching is all about. So just from simple thing you do in life, if you understand the domain of meditation, you can develop the spiritual practice. So Dharma is life itself. Every encounter in life can bring about the spiritual practice. So spiritual practice, when you understand, is very beautiful. What you need is heedfulness. So this one you need heedfulness. So once you have heedfulness, you can do it. Then heedfulness is ever mindful plus constantly meditative. Meditative. So if you can understand this, you will understand the practice very well. So to be ever mindful, you need to train your mind, cultivate the spiritual faculty, develop the initial wisdom, yoniso manasikara. Otherwise, you cannot be ever mindful. To be ever mindful, you need sati sampajana. And to do that, you must have initial wisdom. When these two come about, your precept is automatic, sense restraint. Then after that, the three way of right conduct, you will definitely have right thought leading to right speech, right action, and right livelihood. No problem. So this is basically what Dhamma cultivation is all about. So this last sentence is very good. That's why when you don't understand, you just read it like any other English word. But when you understand, it's very profound, very deep in its meaning. Then it doesn't end there. What he says is, I read again. If we take every encounter as a chance to engage in spiritual cultivation, which I have explained, and tame your mind, you can change your habitual tendency and nurture your wisdom life. So, next one is what? Habitual tendency. So you can root out your habitual tendency. So habitual tendency is born of what? Born of heedlessness, isn't it? So which means you transform from a heedless way of living to a heedful way of living. Do you understand? Yeah. So root out habitual tendency means transform. Life. From heedless living to heedful living. So this is really beautiful, isn't it? When you are no longer heedless, you are destined for enlightenment. So this one sentence is where all the practice is. Then the last part is even more beautiful. You can nurture your wisdom life. So after you have rooted out all this, when you have heedful living, you can nurture your wisdom life. That's the reason why I always share with you all, life itself is the meditation. Life is your greatest teacher. Now you understand. Huh? So the whole of cultivation is just so simple. Why must living being make it so complicated? Huh? Very direct, isn't it? And when you understand this, you know how to cultivate. You don't have to waste 20, 30 years doing all those foolish things, becoming gullible, without understanding what you do. Okay? So far clear? Huh? To do good, like I say, you don't need to have much money. Whatever little you have, you are willing to contribute. That itself is very, very virtuous, very wholesome. Then sometimes you don't even need money. With your kind heart, with your virtuous thought, you can bring about generosity, blessing to the world. You can help in many areas. The collective consciousness will improve. The environmental consciousness will improve. People who are around you will feel the good thought, the wholesome thought, the virtuous thought. And all these are very conducive. Your love, your metta, your compassion, your gratitude, your kindness, your goodness. All these are very beautiful mind states that can help you contribute to the world, transform the world, have love and be loved. Finally, cultivation is about understanding, wisdom. With wisdom comes virtue naturally. That virtue is true virtue. Without wisdom, that virtue may not be true virtue. And people who can pick it out very fast are those who are sincere, devoted, have faith. That's why when you have faith, you are sincere, and you diligently cultivate, persevere, it will bring forth the way. The cultivation is there for you. So 3 things: faith, sincerity, and diligence or persevere. Then go back, write all this down, reflect, and check. Have you been cultivating according to this? If you cultivate according to this, it's very easy. Especially the listening to the dhammapada to develop the initial wisdom. This one need to be done. Then once that one develop, your daily mindfulness will come. When sati comes, sampajana is very easy. Where you have the teaching, the 4 types of sampajana. Sincerity of purpose, domain of meditation, then suitability. The last one is non-delusion. So all this will fall into place. Then you will understand the teaching. Pariyatti already developed. Then after that, next phase, put it into practice, patipatti. And most of you have started. And some has even developed yoniso manasikara. So once yoniso manasikara is there, you realize you become different. You are more composed, more calm, less reactive. Your mind does not stir like before. You are more and more heedful. And you think much less. So thought conception, mental chattering and verbalization starts to reduce. And finally you realize you are just aware. no more thinking. That's how you come to realize that your daily mindfulness has stabilized. You have become more and more mindful, more and more aware, more and more peaceful, more and more tranquil. And you can experience stillness, tranquility of mind very easily. That is progress. Once you can do that, you know your sati has stabilized. Then with the sampajana, you won't go wrong, you won't deviate. Then sense restraint become automatic, where with mindfulness develop, very stabilized, very stable. Then sampajana to prevent you from deviating. Then your mind become very sensitive. You can see a lot of things, all the essential Dhamma, whatever defilement or whatever, very fast you feel it because it's so sensitive, it cannot arise. Your initial wisdom straight away come out and prompt you. No point. This is delusion. This is sankhara. Sankhara anicca, sankhara dukkham, dhamma anatta. Things are just the way they are. Condition like that, things is like that. People are just the way they are. Deluded being do deluded thing. Selfish being do selfish thing. Evil or angry being do evil and angry thing. So you can come to terms with the reality. You can be at peace more and more. Then your mind develop more and more quietness, leading to tranquility and stillness. Then the mind realizes passaddhi and finally stabilize and enter sati. Then everything you do in life is in sati. Every moment of seeing, hearing, smell, taste, tactile and thought consciousness is in sati. Then this sati becomes so different. When it's stabilized, it's like a flow. Then everything is like magnified. Then you can constantly throughout the day develop this ability to see things as they are with specific phenomenal awareness. So when there is a specific phenomenal awareness, your mind does not dwell. Your mind is ever mindful, constantly aware. And it can be in the midst of life, living life, doing your daily activity, working, sharing, going for a holiday, or whatever. Everything can be done in the state of mindfulness, heedfulness, awareness, because your mind has transformed. Your mind has transformed from a heedless way of living to a heedful way of living. So these two, you must see the difference. That's why the Buddha said the wise one, when they can see the difference, they will intent on heedfulness. So heedless living, this one is very dangerous. The other one is heedful living. This one is very important. So this one will improve your life, will transform your life. That one will nurture your wisdom. Nurture your wisdom life. So all this will bring about understanding, growth in cultivation, develop all of the wholesomeness for spiritual progress, for you to be a blessing to all. This is what the great beings are. When you become Bodhisattva, you must have all this understanding and cultivate accordingly so that you can manifest the embodiment of virtue, wisdom, to be a blessing to all. Then you see the importance of Dhamma. You see the beauty of Dhamma that can let you to understand life so beautifully. Then life becomes meaningful, wonderful. Then you can do this work with joy, with understanding, with great love and compassion. And you can constantly come for the living being. And you will never regret that you have taken the vow to go this way. Where this is different. This way is so rewarding, so beautiful. And this understanding need to be made use of. Otherwise, after Arahant finishes, then you carry your wisdom along and never to come back to contribute again. That is your choice, understand? But when you understand, you realize life can be meaningful, beautiful. That's why the Heart Sutta said, when you realize true emptiness, life becomes wonderful. 真空妙有. True emptiness is wonderful existence. Each and every one of you have your great potential. Not until you connect, you will never know. The moment you connect, you will inherit from your spiritual nature and you become very different. Then that time you will have a lot of joy too, a lot of understanding coming back from your spiritual nature. That's how you become different. So have faith, cultivate sincerely, diligently. Then you will have your condition. It will come to be. This one is very important. You have to learn to appreciate life and cherish your own blessing. Can you understand this? That's why you must have this very simple virtue but very effective. What are the simple but very effective virtue? First is appreciate life. Appreciative of life. Then the next one is contentment. Contentment. Correct, yeah. So, appreciative of life, contentment. Then the other one is love. Love. If you can have this simple virtue to appreciate life, then cherish your good blessing. The third word is cherish your good blessing. So this type of virtue, although simple, but effective. And I always use this for my own personal cultivation. So first is appreciative of life, contentment, cherish. Cherish your good blessings. So you can do these three. You will have the good life. This can help you overcome a lot of negative tendency. Do you agree? When you can appreciate life means you got gratitude. Correct or not? Cảm ơn. So this one, when you are appreciative of life, you have gratitude. Because it's a natural tendency. Then when you have contentment means you do not crave. You are very contented, easily satisfied. Means you are contented with life. You can develop the appreciation of life. Then you have gratitude towards nature, towards all things that have given you all the things that you need to sustain your life, to live your life. That's why my teacher Ajahn Tra always thank nature. He said nature has a lot of loving kindness. Nature just give and give and give. Because when he reflected and contemplated, nature never complained. The air we breathe, we take for granted, it comes from nature. The water we drink comes from nature. The food we need to consume, to nourish our health, all come from nature. Then the comfort of our existence, our homes and all those things, also the raw material all come from nature. That's why nature has great loving kindness, great compassion for mankind. So when we start to appreciate life, we have gratitude towards nature and towards all people or all beings who have helped us, help the world, help make this world a better place. Then when there is contentment, we do not crave anymore. We are contented with life. We can develop the appreciation of life. We can have joy. We never compare anymore. It will cut away envy, jealousy, and all those things. Even lust can go where you are contented. If you live a lay life, you are married to one, you are contented. Otherwise, you will have craving. You become lustful and you want more. So contentment is very important. Then when you cherish your good blessing, it constantly reminds you what? To follow the advice of the Buddha and the Sangha. When you cherish your good blessing, means you know this good blessing is the one that gives you the good life. So what must you do? You must take care of your life. So heed the advice of the Buddha. So this good blessing is something you must treasure. Follow advice of Buddha. So this Bodhi path, they will arise after you plant the seed of Bodhi. Remember when you take the vow? The first vow is to plant the seed of Bodhi, to walk this way, to have the aspiration. So this Bodhi seed will be nurtured through your faith, through your sincerity and perseverance of cultivation. Then it will transform and bring forth the Bodhi mind. So from Bodhi seed come the Bodhi mind. With the Bodhi mind, you walk the Bodhi path. This is how you do your work as a Bodhisattva. First, plant the Bodhi seed. Then nurture the Bodhi mind. Then walk the Bodhi path. Can follow? So very simple, huh? Because from now onward, this nature will teach you how to cultivate the Bodhisattva way. The vow part already over. The initial Bodhisattva vow and all the understanding of how to develop all this vow, affinity with great beings and all those things, the essential Dhamma that you vow to have, then the vow to break karmic obstruction and all those things. All this we have covered early on under the blue book, Cultivating the Bodhisattva. Now is the path to truth, to understand the true Dhamma, to walk this way. Because by now, the teaching should be very clear to you and you can apply them in life. And you should be a living Bodhisattva. doing all these things with understanding. So this year onward, when we start on all this, you will learn very different things, very beautiful things. And with this type of teaching and understanding, I tell you, your nature will be very different by the time maybe you end your life, this segmented life, but you will continue. You will have a lot of joy. You will count your own blessing. You will really thank your good inheritance, your good karma, the good condition for you to have all this. This one, money cannot buy. This window is very unique, very special. And very few people can teach you to develop the understanding of all this. The Bodhisattva way is a very extensive way, you remember? It involves aeons and aeons and aeons of cultivation and perfection. So is this path wide or not? So this path is not only broad and wide, but it's very direct. Do you understand? Do you know why it's direct? Bodhisattva, the real cultivation starts when you can connect to your true nature. Do you understand? The higher path. That is for the Bodhisattva to cultivate. That's why it is very direct. It's Huineng's teaching. And it's also the Diamond Sutta teaching. Of course, no thought you would have penetrated even as a sainthood way. But the stabilizing of the no thought, you have to go through the Bodhisattva way. You have to realize the true mind. Not only a glimpse or awaken. You have to realize it until very clear. Then after that, when you connect, internal transformation, then that one is the higher path. Then you reach from no thought to no mark. Then when you cultivate with no mark, your field of merits is immeasurable, like what is mentioned in the Diamond Sutta. Then later on, as your mundane mind collapses, what happens? Your mind has got no dwelling. It doesn't dwell. With that understanding, it's like the Diamond Sutta say, if you know how to cultivate with these three hallmarks, or the four stanza, you remember? 一切有为法，如梦幻泡影，如露亦如电，应作如是观。That four stanza come from understanding the Huineng cultivation. That's how, when you have that understanding, you cultivate according to that understanding, your field of merit is way, way beyond any practitioner who has the seven treasure of the universe. Even that cultivator were to offer to all the Buddhas, Sammasambuddha or the 3 period of time, the field of merit that they generate is of no way comparable to a person, a real cultivator who understands this four stanza and can teach it to the world. Just imagine the difference in merits. Because when you cultivate with this level of understanding, which is the Bodhisattva way, following Diamond Sutta and the 6 Patriarch Platform Sutta, the field of merits is limitless, immeasurable. That's why it's completely a different type of cultivation at all. Then you can make use of this type of merits, blessing and wholesomeness and understanding in time of tribulation to help you develop new understanding and help other people, to be a blessing to all, to help bring about causes and conditions for them to be safe, so that you can take them all across. So all this understanding is very broad, very wide, limitless. So from zero comes one. This one is the first thought of ignorance. Understand that? That's why Master Hsuan Hua like to use this word. 佛跟众生相差一念之间，一念的无明 the first thought of ignorance. So this one is a very important first thought of ignorance. From zero come one. Then from one comes infinity. From one comes infinity. So this is how creation come about. From zero, zero is your true nature, your oneness nature, your Buddha nature, the source of all things. From there it arises. The first thought of ignorance that condition the mind right creation. That's why from zero come one. Then one come infinity, the mind right creation. That's how living being become what it is now. Traveling in space and time. So the knower becomes the living being. And the living beings become the traveler in space and time. So the living being take birth, travel in space and time, occupying the 31 plane of existence. Until finally you realize the full enlightenment to perfect yourself. Then you understand all this and you know how to come. And you can choose to come. Then let us go through what we have studied today. It will help you understand the cultivation. If you cannot understand this, you cannot cultivate. That's why go back, write it down, reflect on it, contemplate, and make sure you understand them step by step. Otherwise, how can you practice something that you don't understand, where you every time have to recall through memory? What is step 1? What is step 2? What is step 3? What did Brother Teo say? All this is going to become knowledge. It's not through your own contemplation, your own understanding. That's why you have to work on it. Reflect, contemplate, write it down. Make sure you understand it. Then when you understand, you can put it into practice. You can cultivate. It becomes very easy. Okay, let us go through the whiteboard. Then we review it. So as we start, we have this first opening statement. The Dhamma is within life itself. That's why Dhamma is life itself. Because what is Dhamma? Dhamma is truth, the teaching of the Buddha. He teaches truth. The essence of his teaching is the Four Noble Truths. All truth is Dhamma. But the essence of his teaching is the Four Noble Truths. And these are called Noble Truths because when you understand them, it can make you noble ones. And noble ones in the time of the Buddha are enlightened beings. That's why they are called Aryas. That's why the Aryan truth is for you to realize the enlightenment to become Aryas. So Dhamma itself is truth. And life itself is also truth because life arises and passes away following nature's law, nature's truth, which is part of Dhamma. That's why Dhamma is life itself. Dhamma is truth, all of nature's law, nature's truth. We have the Pancha Niyamas, the 5 universal order. First 2 scientific law, Uttu Niyama, Bija Niyama, followed by the 3 spiritual law, law of karma, law of mind, citta niyama. Then finally, law of truth, dhamma niyama. So these three spiritual laws, you understand, you will develop great wisdom to understand spiritual teaching. Then when you understand Dhamma, you understand life. That's why life itself is the Dhamma. So all these are related, you will understand. And you are part of nature. Nature is you, you are nature. They are all integrated into the oneness. If you destroy nature, you destroy yourself. That's why we have to live in harmony with everything. Then if you are a cultivator, you will understand every encounter in life can bring about spiritual practice. This is to understand the domain of meditation. I didn't write down that one. So this one is through understanding the domain of meditation. Means meditation can be cultivated anywhere, any place, any time, under all occasion and posture. So when you have this understanding, means you can cultivate meditation in the midst of life. You don't have to wait till you retire or you are at a retreat or a temple or a way place, a quiet place. No need. In the midst of life, everything you encounter is Dhamma, is spiritual practice. When you are mindful, aware, you are cultivating heedfulness. Ever mindful, constantly meditative. That's why here, you need heedfulness to develop spiritual practice, like the Buddha said. Heedfulness is the path to the deathless. The heedful never die, whereas the heedless are as if dead. The heedless are as if dead. The heedlessness is the path to the dead. This is Dhammapada verse 21. And it's very clear. You have to be heedful. Then before the Buddha passed away, again he reminded the monk, strive on with heedfulness. Apamadena sampadena. So this is where the teaching is. You need to train your mind to be heedful, not heedless. When you are heedful, you are destined for enlightenment. To be heedful is to be constantly meditative and ever mindful. You can do this, you develop spiritual practice in the midst of life. Then you will understand the statement, the deep meaning. Every encounter in life can bring about spiritual practice. And how do you develop spiritual practice? First, you have to train your mind. Tame or train your mind. To go beyond thought conception. To do that, there are two ways. First, cultivate the 5 spiritual faculties. If you cultivate them, it will counter the opposite 5 mental hindrances, so that there is nothing to hinder your mind from entering the meditative state of inner peace, inner awareness, and inner calmness. That's why you can be in the meditative state. Without mental hindrance, there is nothing to hinder you. You straight away go into the meditative state. That's why technically when your spiritual faculty are there, there is no mental hindrance. You straight away can meditate. You don't need to go for method, technique, and skillful means. You straight away will realize the silent mind, the free mind, in the state of tranquility, stillness, just aware, without thought. Without thought, there is no fear, no worry, no agitation, no thinking, nothing. It's just aware. It's thought that divide, thought that stir the mind to the ignorant, to the wrong content. So when you are just aware without thought, you are in the meditative state. Then the other way is to develop initial wisdom. Means we are constantly listening to the Dhamma. Then constantly reflect, contemplate, and inquire into the Dhamma to develop the first and second turning wisdom. So these 2 wisdom, you add them up, it will become your initial wisdom. And when your initial wisdom is there, your mind is different. It will not stir and react to sense experience anymore. Because with this understanding, you will straighten your view. And at the moment of sense experience, you have this wisdom at the moment of contact. Yoniso manasikara. So manasikara is attention. At the moment of sense experience, there is wisdom at the moment of sense experience. Means this wisdom, Yoniso Manasikara, the initial, will come out and prompt you and tell you, he is the way he is. The world is the world. Condition like that, things will be like that. And you will know how to be at peace. You will not react and stir anymore. You can accept the reality of the moment to be truly at peace. And the understanding is wisdom, is understanding. And once you develop this, if your mind does not react, stir, and create the mental hindrance, what happens to you? You become more peaceful, more calm, less reactive. You have more and more moments of silence, space between thought. That's how your daily mindfulness come about. Sati sampajana, your daily mindfulness will stabilize. Then when you understand the four types of clear comprehension, you develop sati sampajana, mindfulness and clear comprehension. And you will not debate. Because clear comprehension prevents you from going wrong. Because the four types of clear comprehension is very important. First is sincerity of purpose. Your purpose is not to gain psychic, create fame and all those things. Your purpose to meditate, to cultivate the Dhamma, is to develop wisdom, understanding, to free your mind, not to be entangled with life situation, so that there is no more suffering. That's it. No more egoic mind intention. The second clear comprehension is domain of meditation. You are not gullible anymore. You no longer talk in a way like people who don't understand meditation. They will always procrastinate and tell you, oh, I still need to work. I don't have time to go for Dhamma class, meditation, retreat and all those things. I will do it when I retire. Or I wait till school holiday for school teacher and all those things. So to them, the concept of studying Dhamma, cultivating Dhamma and going for meditation is completely wrong. They don't understand the domain of meditation. What is meditation? To be heedful, you don't have to retire from your career, your job. Understand? To be heedful, you don't have to go to a quiet place. In the midst of life, anywhere, any place, anytime, you can be in that state. Then the third type of clear comprehension is clear comprehension of suitability. Means you will know how to set your priority. The most important time is now, because that is the only reality. The moment is the only reality in life, in existence. Where the past is already gone, future yet to come. Both are not reality. So suitability means the most important time is now. And the most important people are the people around you, where you can do something to help them, to be a blessing to them. Then the most important place is the locality where you are in. Other places are not so important because you can't do much. You are here, you can never do anything that is not related to this place. Unless you send your thought, you send your virtuous thought, your kind thought, radiating metta and all those things. But you will come to have this clear comprehension that will keep you in focus, so that you will not go and heedlessly think of the past, get yourself entangled with the future, creating, thinking, or building castle in the air, they call it. Then the last one is clear comprehension of non-delusion. The defilement of insight will not trap you. You are very clear about what you are doing. Then when you have sati sampajana developed, stabilized, there is sense restraint. When there is sense restraint, you can keep your precept. When you can keep your precept, you will know how to arise the 3 ways of right conduct, following Noble Eightfold Path. Then after that, you can cultivate 4 foundation of mindfulness, leading to the understanding of the cultivation. Then you will witness the 7 factors of enlightenment. That is step 9. Then the natural consequence of it is enlightenment in the here and the now. That's why it completes the cultivation. And now everything has become very clear. So if you know how to train your mind, then your mind becomes heedful. And when your mind becomes heedful, you are no longer heedless. That's why when you train your mind this way, you will root out habitual tendencies. And this habitual tendency is to help you transform life. Habitual tendencies help you transform life. So from a heedless living to heedful living. Then when you do that, it will nurture your wisdom life. When you have wisdom, your virtue, your blessing will grow. Because without wisdom, there is no virtue, there is no real blessings. Everything needs wisdom. Wholesomeness all need wisdom. So wisdom is critical. When you have wisdom, you will have the Dhamma. Because Dhamma itself is true. And wisdom is understanding the truth. That's why they are all related. Then we also touch on this simple virtue, but they are very effective. So when you cultivate right thought, you must reflect on all this. Be appreciative of life. Then you will develop gratitude. When you are appreciative of life, you have gratitude. When you can appreciate what your parent has sacrificed and provide for you, you have gratitude towards them. When you can appreciate the contribution from your own spouse, you will have gratitude towards them. You will love them more. And you will thank them sincerely from your heart. And you will know how to arise the right speech to speak to them in a very nice way. Thank them for what they have done for you. So all this comes from one simple virtue, appreciative of life. When you are appreciative of life, it transforms you. You become so beautiful. Then contentment is another very powerful virtue. When you are contented with life, you don't need anything more. That's why there is no more craving. You do not crave. Reason why the Buddha say contentment is the highest wealth. You understand, huh? Where somebody asked the Buddha, what is the highest wealth? So everybody will be thinking of becoming billionaire and all those things. The Buddha surprised them all. He just answered, contentment is the highest wealth. Do you know why? Huh? Why is contentment the highest wealth? You got no money, you are contented, you think you are wealthy. Huh? Are you wealthy? Let me know. Let me say wealthy. So she is right, because wealthy means what? You no longer need more, understand? Well, I'm contented, I'm wealthy. But the rich fellow, the billionaire, still want, understand? He is not contented, means he is poor. You understand? We are the one that is contented, no longer need anything. He is wealthy. But you, as a very successful millionaire or billionaire, you still have craving, have need. That's why you are not contented. That's why you are still poor. Because you still have craving, need. So contentment is very important. And when you are contented, a lot of things get resolved. You got no more envy, no more jealousy. Because you are contented with the way you are. You are contented with life. You are contented with having one wife or one spouse. If you are a lay person, then you are contented if you are a renunciate or a monk. You're contented with the monk's life. So contentment gives rise to a lot of wholesome virtue, wholesome mind state, understanding. So contentment will make you very peaceful, very calm. The craving, the desire, the wanting, the attachment, the clinging, all will start to slowly dissipate. Then the last one is when you can cherish your good blessing, you also have very good virtue, because you will continue to remind yourself, because of this blessing, my life becomes so good. That's why I cherish my good karma, my good blessing. Then I constantly remind myself to have the good life, I must develop good blessing, born of wisdom, through following the advice of Buddha or Buddha. And that's how the whole cultivation can be developed. Then later on, for the Bodhisattva, we have this: from zero come one, the first thought of ignorance. The Buddha say, inconceivable is the first thought of ignorance. You need to be a Sammasambuddha to trace back to the first thought. That's why he say, for normal people, you cannot conceive it. We are too long. Aeons and aeons and aeons ago. Then from this one thought of ignorance over the aeons, it has developed into the mind-right creation. From one comes infinity. Okay, so this will summarize for you the practice, the cultivation, the understanding.